Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't already, like, comment, and subscribe so that you can see more dope content. Of course, have a change of scenery again. We are sadly, I was gonna try to sugarcoat it, but I said back in PA. So for today's video, I want to incorporate more of my poetry on my channel because I did enjoy sharing that part of myself last time. Just to give you like some context, sometimes I write poetry about, you know, very specific things that I'm undergoing in my life, specific phases and stages of my life, specific feelings and experiences. But I love how beautiful the lighting is outside, but it's so fucking like loud. Like, can y'all, I know the world doesn't revolve around me, but can everything like just like pause for a second? Can it just pause? So anyways, but also sometimes I write about, you know, my thoughts on different things, my views on the world, my feelings towards certain things, especially as like someone who likes to think critically about different systems and structures that are in place. Sometimes I write about social justice issues, just like my interaction with these different systems, I guess. So the poem that I'm gonna read today, it's called Bite the Hand That Feeds You. I'm gonna do less of the talking and more of the walking. I guess more of the presenting. So I guess everyone take a seat real quick, get comfy, because some heavy shit, you know? Just soak it all in. Sponge. Done stalling, let's go. Bite the hand that feeds you. Capitalism. You're too demanding. You take more than you give, but have the audacity to expect me to prioritize the common good. Tell me, what if I told you the common good wasn't so common? And if it is, how has it come to that? If you don't have a response, I do. The common good has been determined by you. What is good for you is good for us all. You're selfish. You expect everyone to work for you, but dare we ask you to work for us? In the 24 hours, the 7 days, the 4 weeks, the 12 months, the years, you have conditioned us, brainwashed us into thinking that we must not only work to live, but ultimately live to work. The poor are merely trying to get by, trying to push past the insufficiencies to have the luxury of living comfortably. The rich are obsessed with getting richer, forgetting that they have once prayed to be in the positions they're currently in. And the middle class is somewhere in between. Not poor enough to feel like they can complain, but not rich enough to feel like they can't. To lose-lose. Despite what they say, enough is not enough. I think it's time to have the talk. The what are we conversation. Because you have fooled me into thinking I am nothing without you. When you are nothing without me. Without us all. Though it is hard to DTR pertaining to what it is, I know damn well what it's not. And what it won't be. Non-reciprocal, manipulative, draining. If I dare allow these things from a lover, what in your right mind makes you think I'd allow them from you? Baby, the fool here is you. So I'm just gonna give you a second to like reflect on that. Give myself a second, I guess, to reflect on that. Are you done? Because I am. These loud ass bitches, like, can y'all calm down? Speed racers. It's a neighborhood. You should be going at 25 miles per hour. Why are you going at 40? And yes, maybe I might do that too sometimes, but mind your business. I think since going to Georgetown, I've just been super reflective and like, I would say skeptical in terms of pushing back capitalistic ideas that we typically don't even think are capitalistic. We don't even think that we're trained to think the way that we do about work ethic, about, you know, merit, about your circumstances and how your hard work completely translates into your material possessions, into the lifestyle that you live, into your current life circumstances, when that is a false narrative. Obviously, to a degree, like, you have to work hard in life, you know? If you want to get somewhere, working hard in itself, like, obviously that's not a recipe for disaster. That's something that can only help you build yourself up and build the life that you want. It can help you, but you can't just look at work ethic in itself without understanding how identity plays a part in how far that hard work, how far that great work ethic could take you. So I feel like people are constantly telling you work harder and you're gonna get the things that you want, but that's not necessarily true. When you come from a minority background in any way, whether that be your race, whether that be, you know, your ethnicity, whether that be your nationality, whether or not you're able-bodied, well, your sexuality, I can go on. These are all factors that influence your life's path, that influence how either easy or how difficult it may be, and what resources you have versus what obstacles you face in trying to attain these things and trying to attain such lifestyle. So I really think it wasn't until like I attended the university that I did, which was Georgetown University, that I started questioning these things, because a lot of people just like, and I don't blame them necessarily because this was literally me, but it's so easy to think that I'm just gonna let these people pass. Anyways, it's so easy to think that the structures and the systems we have in place are meant to help us succeed, when you don't understand the nature of such systems. You don't understand, you know, I'm not trying to go on a tangent, but basically, like, you think about the 9-to-5 job, right? You're thinking, okay, like, this is a tool. This is something that's going to help you provide for your family and obtain the things that you want in life. A job allows you to do that. It gives you money, which is a resource, allows you to get the things that you want, right? Except wrong. Because I'm not gonna like, okay, I'm not like a Marxist or anything like extreme necessarily, because obviously, like, it's not really obvious, but like, obviously we need some type of structure in life. But I think the structures that we do have in place don't necessarily help. They don't help everyone. It disproportionately helps some people and not others. And that's the tea, sisters. So even though we think about this like 9-to-5 job, right? They're ultimately thinking of profit over bodies. You're basically a number to them. Like, yes, you obviously qualify for the job that you have in whatever field that you're in to a degree, because you got the job, right? You have the title that you have, whatever, but your position in whatever company is not solely based on your qualification. There are various factors, and ultimately these jobs value, like I said, like, they value productivity, they value the statistics, the metrics, the numbers, more than they actually value the people that work for them. So meanwhile, you have people breaking their backs. You have people thinking that the harder I work, at their own expense, you know, at the expense of their mental health, at the expense of their physical health, the harder I work, the faster I'll advance. And I feel like they think that the return of the investment, they think that in exchange, the company is going to look out for them in the same way that they've worked for that. Time and time again, I just learned that that's not true. Corporate America, as much as people like to think that, I think it's easier to, well, there are various factors, but it's easier to operate in a system that you don't question. It's easier to not question a system and to just go with the flow and comply, do what's expected of you, rather than taking the time and energy to, like, you know, challenge that, especially if that's not what you're taught to do, you know? So that's basically what this is about. It's about just like I think at its root, like how much we romanticize productivity, how much we romanticize capitalism and working hard, and how like really your value is contingent on the work that you produce, which I think is like so fucked up. I've had this in various job experiences where what I was giving to the company was not reciprocated. It was not, because if you're sick, if you know you're not working, you're not producing work at the level that they want you to, at the intensity that they want you to, at the pace that they want you to, then suddenly you're a bad worker. Suddenly, like, you know, it's basically fuck you. That discounts the times that you do go your 120%. And that's the shame, because why do you have to sell yourself, sell your soul to get like respect, like basic human respect? That's just not, it's not cool. It's really not cool. And ultimately, like in such society, I feel like we're always working towards, and I'm not going to say every single person, because to a degree you can choose if you want to submit to that system or not, but ultimately when you're giving into this way of operating, into these systems, these structures, you're constantly working towards something that you're never going to be satisfied with. So I broke it down, like, you know, when you don't have much, you're always going to want more, obviously, like, because you see people with more, and that's what you aspire to have. When you're middle class, you have a little more than, you know, the bare minimum, but you're still looking at the upper class, and you're looking at, like, to a degree, you're grateful for what you have, because, you know, or at least you should be. There's an understanding that people do have it worse than you. There's also always the understanding of, I'm not doing as well financially as I could be. And then there's the upper class, also not satisfied. So it's like, if we're looking at each tier and no one's satisfied, then what is that one thing that we're actually trying to attain? When you think about it, money is like a social construct. Something we man-made, constructed by humans. Feel like we earn the things that we get. So are we chasing the money, or we're chasing the lifestyle? Deep questions. Ultimately, let's talk about the takeaways, because I can like sit here and explain to you my logic throughout the poem. I can explain to you, you know, what I meant, but that won't actually, ultimately, it's like, what do I do with this information? You know, what do I do with? Not 5 different kids getting ice cream. I'm embarrassed. Somebody's literally watching this. Can I get some privacy? Can I get some privacy? It's truly the disruptions for me. I swear, if anybody else decides to make noise in the back of my video, I'm gonna scream. I'm going to scream. I'm going to scream. Ultimately, the takeaway here is, what does it look like, my eyes? I'll wrap this video up right now while there's no noise. But essentially, the takeaway is, don't sell your soul to corporate America. I'm not saying like don't have a 9-to-5 job. Like, it's completely fine to have one. That's your choice. But you have to prioritize your well-being before anything else, because if you don't take care of you, then who will? That 9-to-5 job will not take care of you the way that you can take care of you. Who knows your limits the way that you do? Your 9-to-5 job does not know your limits the way that you do. So you have to advocate for yourself. You have to know what your limits are. And this is not something that, you know, everyone knows off the bat. You kind of just test the waters, experiment a little here, experiment a little bit there, and through experience you learn. But you have to love yourself enough to respect that and to stand by it so that other people can respect that as well. All right? Okay. People don't understand because I stare too much. Like, mind your business. Like, comment, subscribe if you like this video. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know if you want to see more content like this or whatever content you want to see. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.